You're from Colombia originally. So which roles have you done where you've really got to show your Colombian heritage the most in?
Oh, that's funny. Most of the roles I've done are not Colombian, so it's been a mix of Mexican, Cuban, other accents that haven't come out yet in projects. So, well, my latest project is Morgan's Mask. It's a film that I produced and I act in, and my character speaks English the way I do now, but I've incorporated a lot of Colombian Spanish. She speaks with her sister and her mom, so I guess that would be it. But the movie has not come out yet. Soon, hopefully. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. Outside of the main characters you're known for, what has been your favourite character to voice?
I voice a lot of characters in a cartoon called Victor and Valentino. It's for Cartoon Network based in America. And they're just a bunch of random little characters, but they're really fun because, like, it could be a little kid that talks like this, or it could be like this woman who talks like this. So I feel like they're not like the ones that I'm known for in video games, but they're really fun. So, and there's quite a few of them, and they're all very different, and I've enjoyed them very much. I think animation gives us the capacity to just use our imagination and just invent crazy voices. So animation is some of my favorite stuff. Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
So my question, if your character from GTA 5 could cross over into any of the GTA trilogy, games such as GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, what would they be and why?
Oh my goodness. Well, she's a driver you can hire for heist. So I guess in San Andreas, she would just know back roads really well. And she's just really badass. So hopefully she wouldn't die in those, because in GTA 5 she doesn't have a happy ending. But I also I'm not a great gamer, so I really don't know how to answer that. But you know, all the ladies I play are pretty fierce, so she would survive.
Thank you. So what do you want to see from Sambra in Overwatch 2? Have you got any ideas on that?
Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, I don't have ideas on it in terms of, like, I don't know what's to come. Blizzard is very careful and secretive about all the information they give us, and we only record what's pertinent to our characters. I would love more backstory. I think, as all of us love our characters, we want to know a little more about them, what their families were like, if they had families, you know, what the story is, if Sombra's ever been in love or brokenhearted. I would love to know more about that. But I also am just excited to see how the characters interact in Overwatch 2, because we're going to get to know them more. So I want to see how they intertwine with each other. And to see, you know, what Sombra does with Talon, and if she ever becomes a part of Overwatch, because I think she could go either way, but we don't know. So the future's a mystery. We're waiting very much for Overwatch 2 to come out. Very excited. Hi.
Hi, so Aisha Anime here. Knowing that you've done a role in Red Dead Redemption 2, if you would put yourself into that role, if things got tough, would you resort to horse burgers?
I would like to find buffalo or any other animal first before horse burgers. What an intense question. Oh no, I love horses too much, but I guess if you're starving, you do anything, right? Maybe I'd become a vegetarian and just do some some gathering for berries and you know, fruits and whatever's in the desert. I don't know. Great question. Hi, or you're the boss.
If you were to experience any kind of self-doubt in yourself and in your career, what would you kind of do to kind of perk yourself up again?
Ooh, you know, I think that actors, we constantly deal with, I don't call it rejection, but they're choosing other actors over us, right? A bunch of us audition and they choose one person or two people. And so I think that we just have to keep reminding ourselves that what we offer is very unique. Everybody in the world is unique, right? Everyone has their particularities and their beauty in their own ways. So I think that just reminding ourselves that what we bring to the table is very particular, very special, and very different. And remembering that, okay, it wasn't for this project, but it might be for another project. So it's just coming back to your center and knowing that the right project will come along. It's tough because we struggle with this, but I'm constantly reminding myself of this, that, you know, we're badass in different ways, so.
So I just want a quick, simple question. What's your favourite role you've played so far to voice over, and why?
So far, I mean, I love Sombra, which is what I travel the most for, and Raze and Valorant. I think they're both really smart, fun women. I think they have fun in different ways. Sombra's very cunning and sarcastic, and she has a dark sense of humor. And Raze is bombastic and the life of the party and loves kind of bringing her community together. So I think both of those are my favorites because they're really interesting in different ways. And I feel like the audience loves them. And they're from South America, so I feel proud to play them because South and Central America, I feel like we're representing Latinos in different ways, and that's exciting.
Out of all your characters that you've played, who would be your character to cosplay and why?
Ooh, well, I have cosplayed Sombra 3 times. I did her original skin. I've done the Franken Bride and the Rhine skin, which is this blue fun one. The next one is going to be Sombra as well. Next weekend on Halloween, I'm doing Black Cat Sombra. That's going to be really exciting. I'll be sharing photos on my Instagram. And I don't do the cosplay myself. Melanie Jasmine does. She's on Insta and she's incredible. So please follow her. So I would do Sombra again, and I hope to do Raze at some point. But it hasn't happened yet. Yeah.
Yeah, and who would win in a fight, Raze or Sambra?
That's such a tough question. It's like choosing your favorite child. Sombra would hack. Raze would throw some crazy grenades. They would tie and become best friends.
I'll take that. I'll allow it.
So, how did you start to learn to experiment with your voice and manipulate it to create different characters and roles for games?
I think as a kid, I just loved languages and accents. And it's funny, my grandma was American and I grew up in Colombia. So she would speak Spanish with a really funny American accent. And so I would imitate her. And then my friends' would have, a German accent speaking Spanish or whatever. And so I would tune into this and I loved it. So I would try to imitate it for fun, not to make fun of them, but just because I enjoyed it. So I think that as a kid, I was doing voices where I would try a British voice, even if I wasn't good, or I watched Mary Poppins. I know that it's not your ideal, Dick Van Dyke, but, watching that, you just kind of like, oh, that sounds different. So I would try to do it. And, sometimes you succeed and sometimes you don't. But I wasn't afraid of trying things like that weren't perfect. And then I just I had an ear for it. So then I wanted to learn Italian and Portuguese, and I think those have opened my ears and I say mouth just because you have to really get it in your mouth, accents. So I've just not been afraid of trying them, even if I fail miserably. But since a kid, I like doing them, yeah.
Since you're in London, what's your favourite British candy or chocolate?
Oh my God. I'm not a candy eater, but Cadbury's is one of your chocolate?
Cream egg?
Yes.
What would you say to your younger self?
Don't worry so much when you don't book the roles you go out for, because all of those auditions that I did and that I keep doing have taught me something. And I think that especially young actors, we start and we go, oh, I didn't get this role and I didn't get that role. And we start thinking, oh my gosh, maybe I'm not good enough. But it's just part of learning the ropes and part of learning not to get nervous and part of learning how to be a better auditioner and be better at characters. So I think I would try to tell myself not to worry so much when I don't get the role. It's just part of everyday life, and it's going to get better. You have to believe it's going to get better. So
You are enough.
Sorry?
You are enough.
Exactly. You are enough.
Is there a character that you've voiced in a video game that you'd like to play in live action?
Oh my God. I mean, Sombra and Raze would be awesome. If Overwatch ever became a live action, I would love to play Sombra. Yeah, because they're so badass. I mean, yeah, it would be Sombra. Although she has invisibility powers and all that stuff, and that would be insane. But, these days with CGI, anything's possible.
So how's it been today actually getting to meet fans again once in person?
Oh my gosh.
See people up close again after all these lockdowns?
Yeah, it's so great. I think that's one of the things we miss the most, because we've done some events online and they're just not the same when you're talking to somebody on Zoom, or you're kind of doing an Insta Live, and it feels like you read the comments, but you're not having that direct interaction. And I just love people, and in person get nervous or they get excited or, oh my gosh, say the line, and you say the line and then they, you know, it's like, oh, it's like in the game. And that excitement is so beautiful, and you can't really receive that via whatever app you use. So I think I just love, and I love hearing the stories about how a game like Overwatch has helped people connect with their community or not feel lonely or help people out of a tough time. And so that's really special to all of us that come to cons and get to meet fans. So, and it's hard not to hug people because I love doing that. But we have to be safe with COVID. So, but I've loved it, and we just started doing them again in the States as well. So we were just getting back into it. Got to work up that stamina again because it's a lot of energy output.
What line has been the most popular for people to ask you to say?
So usually it's the ultimate. Sombra goes, apagando las luces. It means turning off the lights in Spanish. They love that one. They love hack the planet. And then Reyes goes, here comes the party! Because she's a party animal. So usually the ultimates are the ones that are exciting.
So if you could get a role in any TV show, something from the past, something present, or some sort of future genre, what would it be?
I mean, a Marvel TV show would be kind of awesome, just to play a badass in one of those. And it doesn't have to be like a superhero with like a cape, you know, but I just think like the females in these TV shows are so badass. But I like interpersonal dramas more than just like being a cop that's like, oh, they took a left on 57th and then they went down to Lexington and this is what happened. Like that I don't love, but when you're kind of dealing with human emotions, I really enjoy those shows. I love your show, Sex Education. Gosh, have you guys seen it? Mm-hmm. It's like the best show on the planet. That kind of show I want to be a part of, you know? And I know it's teens, but if I would play somebody's mom or older sister, that'd be great. Or something like Money Heist, based in Spain. That show, yes, that would be amazing. That's the kind of show, for example, that I think would be really fun. Especially Tokyo, that character, awesome.
Have you ever gone in for a audition and didn't get the role but got asked to do something different?
For film and TV, not so much yet. But it happens all the time. I have friends that, you know, it happens all the time. I went in for The Affair with Dominic West, and I did a little scene with him in the first episode, and they called me back, episode 10, to recur, which was great. I didn't expect that. I think that for animation, we do a lot of voices that are very different. And so they might not cast me for that, but then that casting director knows, oh, we've heard Carolina do these 5 different things. So instead of them auditioning me, they just bring me in for something else. So that's happened enough with Cartoon Network, Disney, Nickelodeon. And I feel like in the voice world, that's a really great thing to, you know, be a part of. Right now, I'm on a Netflix show called Maya and the Three with a bunch of awesome Latino celebrities in the States. And I met the director, and he just knew I could do voices. So he's like, I want you to play this warrior princess. And I was like, thank you. So I getting to work with people that I really admire has been a gift. And the voice world does that. They kind of know that you can do various accents and characters. And so they just call you in for stuff, which is great. Yeah.